Thanks for tuning in to my program. I'm starting a series on creativity, and this is my first segment. I'm not an expert, uh, I'm just an ordinary person like you. It's just that I've spent many years, more than 30 years, uh, involved with this creativity thing, explaining to people and um, understanding it more myself because I use it. I'm shooting this in my house. It's not an art gallery, although you see this really nice artwork behind me. That's by my cousin. Behind my phone and directing me is my sister in law, and assisting her is another cousin. The one who's editing this whole series is my niece. So it's all because of this lockdown, we have to do it all by ourselves, no professional help. Anyway, I think I can help a lot of people understand this very strange thing called creativity. It's very daunting for a lot of people, I know. And I want to make sense of this thing called creativity to all of you. The word creative by itself can be very daunting, but don't look at it as creativity. Let me break it down. The scientists have done so, and they have broken it down to many parts. And today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at one segment of it, which is curiosity. We all have curiosity in us, but there are those who have very high amounts of creativity. Let me ask you one question. Who do you think are the most creative people in this planet? What is that? Oh, you think it's the artists? Some of you say designers. Oh, and some say actors and dancers. Yes, I agree, they are all creative, but they are not the most creative people in the world. You would be surprised to learn that the most creative people in the world on this planet are children. You and I have been at one time the most creative people on this planet. What happened to us? We forgot the wonder of childhood. We forgot all that creative part of us. We do use it, some of us consciously and some of us unconsciously. Because creativity is a mental process. We do it automatically. The more we use it, the more we understand it. But a lot of us don't use it knowingly. And this is what I want to address with this segment today. And it's about curiosity. Why is it very high in children? Because they use creativity to understand the world around them. They have to develop their mind, they have to develop their emotions, they have to make sense of the world around them. So they use creativity a lot. You will, because I'm filming at home, you will hear very strange sounds. You'll hear birds, you'll hear a plane, you'll hear a helicopter. Bear with it. Anyway, coming back to curiosity. Curiosity itself has been investigated by scientists, by experts, and they have broken curiosity itself into 5 parts. They make it very complicated. If you look at how the scientists do it and how they explain, like for example, they will say that the first part of the broken down curiosity is deprivation sensitivity. What? That's exactly my reaction. What? It's so complicated, it's so complex. Let me then break it down and explain it to you the way I understand it. For me, deprivation sensitivity, the first broken down part of curiosity is actually I got a know syndrome. This describes people who have the wanting to know. They want to know. They are obsessed with wanting to know. And they will look for the answers until they find it. And then they feel relieved. So this obsession bothers them. They need to know. They will continue to look for the answer. You will find that a lot of researchers are made that way. The second part of curiosity is the wonder of the wonder that we possess as children. It is that part of curiosity that we enjoy doing. We enjoy finding out things. Um, like children, they look at butterflies and spiders, and then they wonder why the spider has got 8 legs and the butterfly has only 6 legs. So they'll find out, and they enjoy finding out. And you, I'm sure, would have engaged in it. For example, you may have wanted to travel to another country. You like their culture, and you take the trouble to find out their history, what kind of culture, how did it start. Those are enjoyable things that you enjoy doing. That's another part of curiosity. The third part of curiosity is about being interested in human behavior. We all have it. Why? We gossip. We like to know what's going on with our neighbor. Maybe what's happening with Alice? Why did her husband leave the house in the middle of the night? What did she do? That's that snoopy part of us. And those of us who have a high amount of this wanting to snoop, being nosy, we find a career in it. There are police, people who are in the police, people who are investigators. But there is another level of it where people interested in human behavior help others relieve their suffering. These are the social workers. Then there are those who are the negotiators, the psychologists. That one part of curiosity is directed towards human behavior. Then, of course, there is another part of the curiosity which is stress related. These are people who are given the task of needing to find the answers. They're level-headed people. They will look for the solutions. They will undergo all kinds of stress. They have a very high stress tolerance. They are problem solvers, the troubleshooters. Then, of course, there is the last type of curiosity. These are the thrill seekers. We've been having these Olympics every 4 years, and you understand that it brings together people who have this curiosity in them. They like to know how fast they can run, how deep they can dive, how smoothly they can fly, or how, all those kind of stress, or what they do to themselves to find out to what end they can go. And they will even risk their lives. They just enjoy the adrenaline rush in them. And those are the thrill seekers. These are the 5 parts of curiosity. And we all have a mixture of each of these. Depending on which part of it that you are most interested in, that is where you will find your vocation. You will find your career. You are naturally veering towards it. So the minute you find that you are starting to ask questions about how, what if, when, who, you are activating that creativity in you. You are activating the creative spark in you. So you see, creativity is not a very daunting word. You just have to understand what it means in terms of how we express it, how it is activated in us. Well, for today, I think that's about enough for you to digest. But let me just finish this off with a little story that surrounds curiosity and what curiosity can take you to what level. This is a story about George. George lived in the 1940s. He was in Switzerland. He's an engineer. Well, one day he took his dog for a walk behind his house. He went up the hills. But when he came back, he found his trousers all covered with this thing called cocklebur. It's something like in Malaysia, we have this thing called lapgrass. It's a nuisance. It sticks, but the cocklebur is worse. It really sticks very strongly. And George had to painstakingly remove the cocklebur one by one. And as he removed it, he was intrigued. He was curious. So he put it under a microscope and took a nice look at it. And being the engineer that he is, he saw how it was made. He put it in the back of his mind. He didn't do anything about it till about 10 years later. So sometime in the 1950s, during his leisure time. He then took it one step further and created a fastener. Because it had a hook and it could fasten, he made a fastener of it. And today we use it, you and I use it. It's called Velcro. He coined that word himself, velvet and crochet. Crochet in French means hook. So we have Velcro. So that's it for today. I think you can digest it and think about it. And well, if you would like to share your thoughts with me, do write and tell me what made you wonder, what made you happy finding out about things. Until we talk about curiosity and take it to the next step, next session, goodbye.